I want to start by showing you these visuals of the river Yamuna as it enters Delhi from Haryana. This is a point before it enters a place called Wazirabad, that's 18 kilometers from the heart of the national capital. As you can see, the Yamuna turns into a black drain. It's filled with toxic waste and heavy metals. Now, there are times of the year when the Yamuna turns white from the white froth, a reaction between toxins, organic matter, and industrial waste, a deadly Molotov cocktail. Where is the river? Delhiites will ask, as they do year after year. The problem is that Delhi's sewage treatment plants discharge 1,270 million litres of treated sewage every day. But Delhi discharges more than 2,000 million litres of sewage every day. There's a shortfall of over 760 million litres. To give you an idea of what that means, that's 76 crore bottles, 1 litre bottles of raw, untreated sewage being poured into the Yamuna each day after day, year after year. For the last decade, there was a blame game on between the centre and the state. The Delhi government was ruled by the Aam Aadmi Party. It said it wanted to clean the river, but the centre and the Lieutenant Governor were not allowing it to do so. Well, a new BJP Chief Minister is being sworn in Delhi tomorrow. The Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena has announced the cleaning up of the Yamuna river. The river, he says, will be cleaned up in just 3 years. Will the double-engine Sarkar now clean up this river by the year 2028? How is this river affecting Delhiites, shortening their lives, and, of course, the impact on the people living downstream? Can the Yamuna really be cleaned in 3 years? Joining me on the News9 Plus show are Dr. Vibha Dhawan, Director General TERI, Dr. RK Choudhary, and in the studio I have with me Mr. Diwan Singh, an environmentalist, the waterman of Delhi as he's called. I want to start by asking you this, Mr. Diwan Singh, why is the Yamuna river dying? What is the problem really? Why does it turn into a drain as soon as it enters Delhi?
See, a river needs its own water. Then only you can call it a river. If you take out its entire clean water which it brought from its source,
yes,
and then put sewage into it, then it's no more that river.
Right.
So that's the answer. So entire city of Delhi is pouring sewage into it. The government is not doing much to control that. Then that's why we call it a sewage canal now.
It's a sewage canal. It's
right.
And describe the toxicity of the river. We've shot documentaries with you on that boat on the river Yamuna. How bad is the water really?
It's black, frothy, very bad smell. I mean, you can't go inside. Even in the boat, traveling on the boat, you can't stay for much long there. So it's terrible, and you can't imagine an Indian river, a monsoonal river, in the North Indian river where we live. It's in such a state. It's in our neighborhood. But then we have to fight it with the government, ask the government, appeal to the government to do something, because as citizens we hardly have any right.
Right.
The community, the society doesn't have any right to do something over the river.
Is it India's most polluted river?
Yes, it is one of the most polluted, among the top most polluted. It is.
I want to ask Dr. Vibha Dhawan this. Dr. Dhawan, welcome to the News9 Plus show.
Yeah.
Your organization has been tracking the cause of the Yamuna for several years now. You know, what is the problem? What can you break it down for us in a nutshell? What is the problem really? Why does the Yamuna turn into a drain as soon as it enters Delhi? And there is this blame game on. For the last 10 years, we've been seeing it here between centre and state.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And if we look at Yamuna, it doesn't look like a river, and a river which is worshipped by Indians.
Yes.
Now, the problems are many, right from the river flow. The flow of water, when it enters Delhi, it is very, very slow. Now,
Right.
what we mean by that is, we all know there are two kinds of organisms. One is that they require oxygen to breathe.
Right.
And the other is the anaerobic, which grows without oxygen. And the characteristics of two are different. And when we say the rivers are self-cleaning, it is that the microbes they themselves eat away the pollutants. But when it enters Delhi, first of all, let me list the problem. Number one is that, as listed, and you told that the sewage plants are inadequate to clean, and there are so many colonies which are unauthorized and with no sewage plant.
Right.
So we are directly draining the sewage into the river. And with the result, the organic content in the river goes up. What does it do? It makes anaerobic when the oxygen. So first is that more plants like water hyacinth and other weeds will start growing. They will further restrict the availability of oxygen, and with the result, anaerobic microbes start growing. So it's a vicious cycle. So first, water is less. We are further adding organics into it. Then there are more weeds coming up. They are further restricting oxygen. So that is how it becomes from bad to worse kind of a situation.
From bad to worse, indeed. It's a vicious cycle, as you described, Dr. Dhawan. I'm going to ask Dr. Choudhary about the impact of this polluted river on the health of Delhiites. We've done stories where we've actually tested the vegetables that were grown on the riverbanks of the Yamuna, and we found very high levels of toxicity. Of course, TERI has done that study as well. We followed that up, and we found very high levels of lead metals, heavy metals like lead in these vegetables. Explain to us, Dr. Choudhary, you know, Delhiites, you have garbage mountains, you have polluted air, and of course you have one of the world's most polluted rivers in our backyard. What is the impact of the polluted river Yamuna on the health of Delhiites?
Thank you so much for having me here. Actually, when we talk about the pollution, that I think Yamuna is the one of the worst polluted river, and it is harming Delhiites like anything else. Like it is causing increasing number of cancer cases. It is contributing to more number of cancers. So we keep talking about the newer therapies, newer drugs, newer machines, but we are not focusing on the preventing cancer cases.
Right.
And that studies have shown there are multiple harmful heavy metals which have been shown in not only in the water but also in the vegetables, especially in cabbage and the carrot. The amount of lead has been found to be more than the permissible limit. Lead as a substance is proven to be as a carcinogen, human carcinogen, causing various type of cancer, starting from the brain, lung cancer, kidney cancer, and stomach cancer. So increased number of cancer cases are being seen, and this is also a contributing factor. And this harmful effect of this water as well as the vegetables is not limited to cancer only.
Right.
This is also causing like fertility issue in the females.
Yes.
And if you talk about the child health, it is causing the damage of the nervous system, rendering them less intelligent. Their IQs are being lower.
Yes.
Because of this pollution effect. So it is impacting every genre, starting from the children's, adults, females. So this is, I think, high time where we should focus on the preventive thing rather than
absolutely high time we focus on the preventive aspect of cleaning up the river Yamuna. We are back to square one, Diwan Singh. But you know, you were telling me a little while earlier about what the problem really is. Explain to us this difference between the STPs and the ETPs and how this is actually another kind of vicious cycle that you see, where you have industrial waste and household waste, and all of them, you know, converging in on and killing the river, and of course complicating the problem even further.
See, Sandeep, there are lakhs of industries operating in this city which are in unauthorized, non-conforming areas.
Right.
And those industries don't have effluent treatment plant, which we call ETPs.
Right.
Or centralized ETPs.
Which is mandatory for all industries to have.
So all that effluent they release get into the sewage drains.
Yes.
Or the stormwater drains, which finally join the trunk drains and then fall into the Yamuna. I mean, they bypass. Or if they go to the STPs, then STPs don't have that technology, are not equipped with that process to clean the heavy metals out of the.
They are not equipped to handle industrial waste.
STPs are not equipped for that.
Yes.
So what happens, that STP become non-compliant.
Right.
They start performing below parameters.
Right.
In a sense, dirty water in, dirty water out.
Yes.
So this is how the entire nexus or entire cycle works. And then there are 27 non-conforming industrial areas in Delhi which are selected for redevelopment.
Yes.
Now the guideline was in 2007 that in 3 years these industrial areas will have to have all of them will have to have CTPs so that their waste doesn't go untreated into any network. But those 3 years have passed since 2007. Just imagine, and if they don't do this, don't comply with the condition, they would be relocated to a conforming industry area.
Yes.
But it is 2007 till now. You can
18 years.
18 years. No industry have been shifted out of such areas.
Right.
And those all 27 industrial areas don't have CETPs.
Right.
Now all that effluent containing heavy metals goes into our sewage network or stormwater drain network, and finally to the STPs or bypass the STPs, finally goes into the Yamuna, and that makes the STPs non-compliant wherever it reaches. So this is how this entire thing is destroying our capacity to clean the river.
Right.
These effluent treatment plants, all these like Mundka area, you can say, it's, I've been seeing it for a very long time. They have a non-conforming industrial area. Similarly, it's in East Delhi, there are many such. Now, no action we have seen till now from the government authorities to do something in this, to give them some infrastructure. They are supposed to give them funds, the government is supposed to give, but government is not giving anything. They are supposed to make the land available, nothing of this sort. So how do you expect them to do something?
Yes, you know, talking about funds, Diwan Singh, I'm just reading a statement from the Delhi Environment Department. I'm going to ask Dr. Dhawan this. The Delhi Environment Department says that nearly 6,856 crore was spent in just 5 years to clean the Delhi stretch of the Yamuna. Where did this money go, Dr. Dhawan? That's 6,000 crore. That's almost, more than $500 million if you can look at it in 5 years.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit of money. And it is that if you don't go to the root cause, you only do that, that we are spending money to harvest the weeds, and again leaving it on the side of the river, they will go back there. So therefore, the money we need to spend with a planned way. We need to have proper plan. What are we going to do? What are we going to achieve? And if you are cleaning it today and tomorrow again you are making it filthy because you don't have treatment plans, it will be back to square one. So that is what largely has happened in the past. What needs to be done now, and I'm sure this government will take note of it, and they are moving in this direction, and that is, like, we have analyzed the problem, that how much of STP should be there, how the industrial waste should be treated, it should not go to the river. We need to clean the silt which has deposited over years, because then only the free flow of water will happen. And more important, and as I said earlier, it is also, we are still not talking about the Dhobi Ghats and so on.
Yes.
So what we need to do, we need to understand the root cause, that it is that the flow of river, when it enters Delhi, how much is the flow, and based on that the policy should be made. We need to ensure that the weeds are harvested at regular interval, and maybe we need to look for the other use. How do we use those weeds? Like even water hyacinth, it still has some energy. You can treat it as a residue which can be treated, and it can give you at least that much of returns which will take care of harvesting of weeds from the river. And as the population of weeds will keep on reducing over a period of time, even their multiplication will get reduced. Let's also look at like what we are today doing, that if you have good STPs, you are treating certain amount, which otherwise if you put it into the river, it becomes 100 times the problem. And the third thing which I always say is that we need to have policies on treatment of wastewater for reuse in various purposes. Technologies are available which are not very expensive. The only problem today is everything becomes expensive because water is practically free. You only spend on water in ground extraction as electricity. And therefore, even if your treatment costs come to a rupee, you feel it's too expensive. So therefore, somewhere we'll also have to come up with the policies that industries can be given certain percentage of water, but large percentage they must recycle.
Right. Absolutely.
And
Very interesting, a very important point there, Dr. Dhawan. The fact is that, we are paying a very heavy price for cheap water. The fact that we haven't put a cess or a tax on water, and it's so, criminally misused, if I can use that word.
Exactly.
But, Diwan Singh, this 4-point strategy, this 4-pronged strategy that the LG VK Saxena has unveiled, he talks of cleaning the garbage and silt in the river and simultaneous cleaning operations in the Najafgarh drain. Number 3 is, of course, ensuring that the STPs work and creating new STPs. So 4-pronged strategy that's been unveiled. Are you very hopeful about this?
See,
as working in 3 years?
Initial to cleaning garbage from the river and clearing the silt.
Yes.
I don't know how effective it would be because they have started it. It seems to be more of a show business.
Cosmetic, you think it's
yeah,
more
because
cosmetic?
silt is 20 feet deep.
Yes.
Until the time the dirty water is getting into the river,
Yes.
there is no point of removing that silt.
Right.
Only once the river, when you give clean water to the river, then only there is use of removing that silt. Otherwise, you remove it and then it's further add to it.
Right.
Your dirty water adds to it. So main thing is increasing the number of STPs and improving their performance.
Yes.
If they can do that, then there are chances, some chances that you can clean the river. But another factor that decides our river's health is that we are not just, it's not just our sewage and effluents in the
Yes.
city, it's also coming from Haryana.
Right.
Badshahpur drain is releasing sewage and effluents into the Najafgarh drain. Drain number 6 coming from Smalkha industrial area in Haryana releases into the Najafgarh drain,
Right.
into the river, our river. It joins at Wazirabad. Similarly, Shadra drain brings from all this filth from Loni, Ghaziabad,
Yes.
and it releases into Delhi.
So there are other states involved in
They
this
are
as
also
well.
involved.
There's Uttar Pradesh, there's
right. Point
Haryana.
is, Delhi is not speaking against them.
Yes.
Delhi is not demanding action from them because Delhi itself is the criminal here.
Right.
Delhi is releasing 70% of filth into the river.
70%
76% of the pollution in the
filth
river is from Delhi.
is being released from Delhi. Dr. Dhawan, this 4-pronged strategy that the LG has unveiled, how optimistic are you about it delivering results in just 3 years?
Well, I'm very optimistic and I feel it will. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I won't say that what we are doing today, that is the ultimate. We are going to find other solutions as well. Like in a way, how do we control weeds in the river?
Yes.
How do we, and then it is, and there will be more strategies, like I'm talking of recycling of water and regulations, whereby we tell the industries that in any case, they have to reuse water. So that's how what we are going to do is that we are ensuring that the industry which pollutes water is also taking care of cleaning that water.
Right.
We also have to give them technologies which are affordable so that they don't have to, it doesn't become a showcase or they just try to not follow. So the regulations should be enforceable, affordable, and we should be able to do it on a large scale.
Enforceable and affordable. When you say affordable, Dr. Dhawan, the government has mentioned that they're going to create a Yamuna Kosh, which is a fund for cleaning the Yamuna. Give us an idea of how much it will really cost to clean the river in 3 years.
That's a very difficult question, and I haven't thought about it. But as I said, that it starts with the awareness, like at the level of every stakeholder, that they don't have to dirty the river. The other, as I said, that once you have the entire water treated,
Yes.
river also has self-cleaning mechanism, the microbes which are present over there. So therefore, I'll put it this way, what we were spending in the past, maybe 10 or 20% increase in that budget should be able to take care of if we follow the right regulations and give the right technologies. So it is not a task, it is not achievable, it is achievable and it will be achieved.
It's achievable indeed, and it will be achievable. But I want to come, final question to Dr. Choudhary on the health of Delhiites. You were talking about the impact it's had on Delhiites. It's created a lot of cancer cases. It's of course poisoning citizens, especially those who eat the vegetables that are grown on its banks. But give us an idea on what a clean Yamuna river will mean for the health of Delhiites. Is there a number that you can put to it, that it would reduce the number of diseases, or it would save on so much of healthcare? Is there a figure even in your mind on how a clean Yamuna river in the next 3 years can actually positively impact the health of citizens living near the river?
I'll go to your previous discussion where you were talking about how much fund will be required.
Yes.
I think looking at the harm this poison is doing,
yes.
I think any amount of fund is justified for cleaning the Yamuna, because cancer is such a deadly disease. It is not disease of individual, but it is a disease of the whole family and whole society. Right. It not only impact the individual person, but it impact the whole family.
Right.
So it is very paramount, I think, and it is the political willpower is required for such a drastic step to be taken.
Absolutely. The political willpower, and it seems to be finally kicking in, that it's become a political issue, and of course the government of the day has picked up that issue. But closing comments from you, Diwan Singh, is it a question of political will, or is it a question of resources, budgets, money? What is it really about the Yamuna that is actually going to that is going to be crucial in the next 3 years?
You asked a very apt question, because this is what I wanted to speak on. It's not a question of resources. You don't need money to clean Yamuna,
right.
and you don't need so much of money to clean Yamuna.
It's not, certainly not the 6,000 odd crore that
not
you
at
were
all.
talking about.
It's a matter of will.
Yes.
If they have good intent on doing it, then they'll make sure their STBs are operationalizing well, and ensure the sewage coming from other states is also checked.
And the industries are relocated.
And the industries, as I said in the beginning, the effluence is bypassing everything and getting into the STBs and then into the drains everywhere.
Absolutely.
So one interesting thing, during Corona time, if you had seen, the Yamuna was relatively much cleaner than it is today.
Right.
You could even think of bathing into it.
Absolutely.
Because those sewage was released, but factories were not working.
Yes.
So the effluents were not reaching it.
Right.
So its ecological process could still function. The river function itself cleans also.
So it is the industrial waste that is primarily
big
the
damage.
biggest
However,
culprit.
You can't say no to sewage. You can't say sewage is acceptable. Both are responsible, but then we have to be careful with industrial waste much more.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Industrial waste also coming from Mungaspur drain from Badurgarh, which I forgot to mention. It's all the sites is entering from Delhi, everywhere. So we need to control all that.
We need to control all that, and as you said, Diwan Singh, it's a question not of resources and budgets which are available in any case. It's the question of political will. And will the Yamuna be cleaned in the next 3 years? It's a challenge, it's a promise, and the new government's clock starts tomorrow. We'll have to wait and watch if they're up to the challenge. Thank you very much, Dr. Dhawan, Dr. Choudhary, and of course, Diwan Singh, for joining us here on the News 9 Plus show.